Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to a blistery cold Sunday morning for another edition of Houston County News. My name is Greg Ritchie from the Messenger newspaper. Very glad to have you along with us this week. And joining us in the studio, as always, Miss Kendall Hickson. Kendall, good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
Now, you have had so much going on. I know you've got your 4-H, your Turning Point. I know you're still a president of the bowling club.
How did you know?
Well, I have my sources. On a blistery cold weekend. Man, what happened?
I have no idea, but I heard that tomorrow is supposed to have like snow flurries or something.
Snow flurries, they promote. As a matter of fact, let me check here and see. Yeah, it looks pretty normal outside, to be honest with you. Typical East Texas. Now, you are actually traveling a bit, so you're going to get winter and summer kind of
back
within a few days, right? Where are you going?
So first, like at the end of this month, I'm going up to Idaho to see Taylor for her birthday.
That's your older sister?
Yes.
Yes.
My older
She's in college there.
Yes, she is.
She's studying.
She
come on
wants
now.
to be a PTA. That's what I know. I don't know what
Parent-teacher association?
A physical therapist. Yes.
So I would imagine Idaho in winter is going to be.
It's gonna be pretty chilly.
Yeah, chillier than here. I actually asked my wife this morning. I said, she said, "Oh, it's whatever the temperature is," and I said, "What's the temperature in your hometown in Russia?"
Yeah.
She looked and she says, 1. I said, "Oh, that's when you don't make it to 2, it's cold." And then so you're heading up to Idaho to see your sister. Super cold.
Yes, and then I'll get back like February 2nd, and then like the next few days I leave to go to the Bahamas.
Right. Not need a coat.
No.
In the Bahamas.
Nope.
So it'll be a nice change from some of the cold weather we've been having. Well, folks, we've got a fun show coming up for you today. We've got Justice of the Peace for Precinct 1 here in Houston County, Mike McCrate, coming on the program. We're going to talk to him a little bit about sort of how the job goes, how bonds are set, and the upcoming election for his position. Also tomorrow, Martin Luther King Day.
Yes.
And, of course, Martin Luther King famously said, "Don't judge a person by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character." And what a world it would be if we could all do that. Now, normally around this time, we'd be in the newspaper and on here telling you about a parade and different events. One of the main organizers of a lot of that stuff is our good friend KJ Johnson. And I got a chance to talk to KJ yesterday. You know, he's been in the hospital since the 1st of November.
Wow.
With heart problems, and he was on like IV feeding for a long time. He lost 65 pounds.
Oh my goodness.
Which is that's a heck of a way to lose it. But I'm glad he lost that weight, and it's supposed to be coming back soon. So KJ, if you're watching this, brother, we love you. We hope you come home soon. But normally these big parades and stuff, the last couple of years they've actually pushed to February for Black History Month, because January. Generally, it's freezing or it's raining, and that's not always fun to do
not the most comfortable conditions.
A parade in that kind of condition. Since we're not going to do that parade Monday, it's going to be beautiful and 72 and sunny.
Oh.
Because isn't that just the way the world works? No, I don't know what the temperature is, but I'm just saying, isn't that the way it sometimes sort of goes? Hey, if you're looking at the newspaper this week, have a look. We got some of the early events coming up for Love Fest. Now, that's one of my favorite things every year.
I love Love Fest.
I don't know what it is about Love Lady, but, man, that is a community that really sticks together in a good way.
Yes.
You hear about small towns where if you show up and you're not from there, you kind of get, weird looks. But, man, Love Lady really comes together, and they've already announced all the information about the barbecue cook-off. They've got the bake sale, the beauty pageant. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
I haven't seen it, but I've seen the little parades and the queens and stuff.
Yeah, so my wife and I have been out there a couple years in a row and taking some pictures, and just the tiniest little babies, and they're all so cute, and their moms and dads. It's very fun. But then, of course, there's all the rest of it. Are you a Love Fest gal? Do you do the Love Fest?
Mm-hmm. Almost every year.
Yeah. What's your favorite part of Love Fest? Is it the rummage sale? The food.
I love the food, and then I also really like the dance that they have in the evening.
Isn't that fun?
It is really fun.
Yeah, and the old gym, and just kind of takes you back. But hopefully in next week's newspaper we'll have a lot more information for you about everything going on. One of the problems that we've been talking about here on the show, and I want to ask you this specifically. I was thinking the other day, I would hate to be, don't take this the wrong way,
Okay.
your age these days.
Oh, I see where you're coming from.
You know, when I graduated high school in 1994, this is 30, 40 years before you were born, obviously. But the .com, the tech thing was just coming in. I mean, we had everything. We just won the Gulf War. Stuff was cheap. You could buy a house for nothing. We were just ready.
Yep.
And, you know, when I talk to these student athletes, do little interviews, or young people like yourself, I think, ugh, the job market is tough. AI is going to replace a lot of people. I
It
mean,
really is.
a year or two, it's going to be the Greg Ritchie 5000, like, welcome to the, shooting lasers or something.
Oh gosh.
They won't replace you, though.
Oh,
But I'll be the first one out the door. And, you know, good luck buying a house these days.
yeah.
What are young people, I mean, what are your fears of getting out there? And because a lot of young people have given up. They're just like, I'll live with mom. I'll work down at the Sack of Suds, the Stop and Go, the Sip and Dip, whatever, and just make enough to put a little beans in my belly and
Yeah.
not even try. Have you found most young people are giving up? Are they still fighting? Or what are they thinking about?
I think it depends on a lot on how you're raised, because some are more of go-getters and some are more relaxed. So I've always been taught that you never give up and that you keep pushing, you keep trying. And so for me, I think what I would be the most scared of would probably be not being able to find a job that I'm capable of doing. So if there's like, because of AI, let's say, then that would be a problem. But one thing I want to do is definitely find a job that I know that I will always be able to do. But like my end goal is going to be to try to be a mom. That's what I want my dream job to be. So.
Well, that's the best job you can choose. I will give you that. I think it's true, and I think whether it's being a parent or getting a job, a nurse, a teacher, a banker, whatever. Man, people used to tell me this when I was your age, and I was like, and I jumped around at jobs. Somebody would come and go, "We're looking for a house painter," and I go, "How much does it pay?" "More than double." Like,
I'll be there.
I'll paint houses, right? But it really is true. If you do what you love, you'll be so much happier.
Yes.
And the money will come. And I look at some jobs that I took and I think, why did I was it was great money for the 9 months that I lasted. And I said, guys, I'm sorry, I got to get out of here, But I think you'll find that if you do what you love, but I do worry about this AI thing. I think a lot of people out there, if you're not familiar with it, may not really understand how it's taking over.
It really is. It has a lot of it's a big thing right now.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't, the old thing would be to do a Google search. They don't do that anymore. They ask ChatGPT. And you've got people, young people in relationships going, give me some good pickup lines for a girl I just met in a restaurant.
Oh, God.
And you just think, oh, no. And then he says that to the girl. Hi, my name's Bob. Nice to meet you. And she says, give me 1 second. What should I say to a guy named Bob? And you just think, oh, Lord have mercy. We're losing our humanity and our sense. Well, folks, we got a lot on the show for you. We're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, we'll have more, so stick around.
Houston County, Texas is a lot of things. It's our amazing cities and towns, Davy Crockett National Forest, and our fields and streams. It's cattle and lumber, manufacturing and tech support. It's national brands and mom and pops. It's our churches and it's our schools. For many of us, Houston County is home. Come visit us and see for yourself what makes this place special. Houston County, first in Texas history, first in our heart.
At Darling Ingredients, we're more than a company. We're a driving force in transforming materials that others often view as waste into valuable products that feed animals, fertilize crops to fuel trucks and planes, and nourish people across the globe. From sustainable solutions that reduce food waste to innovative materials that shape industries, our work makes a meaningful impact in supporting daily life and demonstrates that sustainability and profitability can go hand in hand. From right here in Houston County to more than 15 countries around the world, Darling Ingredients, exactly as nature intended.
A lot of sports this past week. Kennard, Latexo, both having homecoming games. For everything sports related, let's say good morning to Miss Peyton Pierce. Peyton, good morning.
Thank you, Greg, and good morning. And for your Houston County News Sports Update, I'm Peyton Pierce. The Kennard Tigers beating their rival Centerville at their homecoming game, winning 74-50. The Tigers are second in their district with only one loss and 13-10 overall. They'll head to Laneville Tuesday. The Lady Tigers sadly lost their game to Centerville, 53-28, although spirits were high with those homecoming festivities. In Latexo, the homecoming games also Friday night as the Lady Tigers took a tough loss to Groveton after fighting hard into double overtime, losing 41-39. The boys did much better, winning a blowout victory, 52-29. One of the standouts this year has been Jax Bobbitt, leading scorer, regularly hitting 30 points a game, and recently being honored for 1,000 points on the varsity team. The Crockett Bulldogs beat district rival New Waverly 57-46 at home Friday night as they prepare to head to Onalaska next Tuesday. The Lady Bulldogs did their part, taking out the New Waverly Lady Bulldogs 40-31. A big Houston County rivalry, the Lovelady Lions and the Grapeland Sandys, faced off. The Lions prevailed in the end, winning 56-49, while the Sandyettes continued their winning streak, beating the Lady Lions. The Sandys came into the game undefeated in district, while the Lions moved to 13-8 on their season. The Sandyettes sit at 14 wins and 3 losses this season. Grapeland will take a short bus ride over to Latexo on Tuesday night, with the girls' game starting at 6. And with your Houston County News Sports Update, I'm Peyton Pierce. Catch you next time.
Well, folks, welcome back to the show. And our special guest this week is old friend of the program, Justice of the Peace for Precinct 1 here in Houston County, Mr. Mike McCrate. Mike, good morning, Judge. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
Well, thank you for joining us on the show today and getting up early with us. So you took office 4 years ago, basically?
Yes, sir. I've started my 4th year in my first term.
Now,
January 1st.
so we've got elections coming up this November. You don't have a Republican. You don't have a Democrat.
I do not.
So you're going to be, we vote for you, or we don't vote for that position, essentially.
Absolutely.
Well, that's got to feel good to know that people are confident in what's going on. We first met you when you were back working at the Sheriff's Department.
Correct.
And about once a year, I check in with you and ask you how things are going and how you're feeling. So now on the cusp of your second term, how's it going? How are you feeling?
It's going good. I love my job. I've really settled in and got things figured out, and we're rolling.
Well, I know we've talked about some of the good parts and the bad parts. Inquests, I think a lot of people aren't familiar with that. You may want to explain kind of how that process works and why that's tough.
Well, it's the inquest is, of course, when somebody passes away that's not under a doctor's care, we have to go out there and
No matter what time of day or night.
yes.
So you get called out to everything from, I've heard some of those stories.
Everything.
Just
Yes, sir. Everything.
crashes and missing kids in forests and just,
Yes, sir. Yeah.
how's that? That's the one part of that job I just know I couldn't do.
It's tough. It's really tough, especially, I know a lot of people here and I know most of the people, and it's tough, because it's sad. Some of the families, that's the worst day of their life, and they've never had to deal with that before.
Yeah.
And now going from an investigator or a deputy to my position now, I have to deal with that at a different level.
Right.
It's more personal.
Yeah, you're not there to gather facts so much as to say,
right.
I have to give you some bad news.
That's right.
Wow. When you talk about people on their worst day, that really is kind of your business, isn't it?
It is. Unfortunately, it is. That part of it is tough.
Now, I know after a while, JPs tell me that eventually they see people that they saw in their court 10 years ago, and they come back and they go, thank God, you saved me. You got me off the street. I got my life. Have you started seeing kind of the other side?
I have. I have seen some of that, especially my previous work at the sheriff's office. And, I've had people when I was in the narcotics detective.
Right.
I've had people since then reach out to me and thanking me for saving their life because, if we hadn't, put a case on them and they hadn't went to jail, they may not ended up, and they learned how to, get over their addictions. And I've actually had people reach out and thank me for that.
They didn't probably think that at the time.
They didn't, but at the end of the day, I think a lot of people realize,
Is it hard to because you've got the legal side of your job. You got to apply the law evenly and fairly. If you know the person, never met him, doesn't matter.
right?
But on the other side, a lot of folks are good people.
They are.
They did something
Some
stupid,
people
or
just make mistakes.
how is it? As a man, as a local boy, sitting there having to literally judge people like that.
Right. Sometimes it's tough, but I have a job to do. I took an oath to do my job, and that's what I have to do. Whether it's an eviction or a traffic citation,
Yeah,
I still have to do my job.
somebody's got to do that.
Somebody's got to do it, and that's what I was elected to do.
Well, I'll tell you, you're always going to catch flack over bonds and bails and all that. If somebody's up for a bigger crime and it's $50,000, I'll get the calls about it should have been $50 million, or a DUI and it's I don't know $500, and I'll get the call. That's my Uncle Bob. He's a good guy. It should have been $100. How exactly do you make those decisions?
It goes with, we look at the criminal histories, how much, if they've been in trouble, if they're out on bond already for another charge or the same type of charge.
Okay.
All that's into consideration. And now that they've added to the bond legislation or the Constitution,
Right.
they brought it before legislation, and now we can do some stricter things with bonds. There has been some bond amendments passed where we can no bond people on specific charges, not everything,
Right.
just violent crimes and things of that nature.
Well, a lot of people probably may not know this, that you don't just go, $500.
No,
It's a pretty strict multipliers, calculators.
that's right. And it goes by the charge, the degree of the charge, the seriousness of the offense, things like that.
Now, a lot of people may not know this either. You have a courtroom,
I do.
and you and the jury, and I've actually been to a jury trial that you did once
I
on
believe you sat on a jury pool because we didn't have enough people show up.
I did. I didn't get picked.
You did not.
Oh, I was looking forward to it. What is it like in that? Because you do that, and then some things you do like zooming in with inmates and inquests. It's a lot of moving parts of that job.
It is. We don't do any Zoom hearings. Some JPs do.
Okay.
We do it all in person.
Okay. Of course, you've got the jail right next door.
Yes, sir. Now the hearings itself, we do that in person.
Right.
The magistrations are all on a video now. We do it all on video.
Oh, so it's not okay. I misspoke.
No, it's not
it's
Zoom.
like a video. So the
It's a
jail,
video.
they go in a little room, and
That's right. And
Yeah.
and when I took office, we were having to go into the jail,
Right.
and that was fine, because I grew up back there in that jail in that office. But it would be tough sometimes because it's always loud.
yeah,
An inmate may be kicking on the door, whatever's going on back there.
and they're not going to be quiet just because you're there.
Yeah, so that's right. So we went with a company, and we do video magistration, and they take an inmate to a room. I can sit in my office, or I can do it from wherever I'm at.
Yeah.
And it's more. I like it because it's easier.
Yeah.
Because you're one on one, and the person you're reading the rights to, because that's important. You want to make sure they know what their rights are, because that's my job, to protect everybody's rights.
Right.
So when I read them the rights, and they want to request an attorney, they can hear everything that's being said, and I can hear them, and we're all on the same page.
Everybody kind of concentrate on.
That's right.
Well, kind of like the sheriff is like the people's law enforcement.
That's right.
The JP is really kind of like the people's judge.
We're the people's court.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
the people's court. But you talk about evictions and all these kind of things. The majority of what you do, what would you say? Is it?
I have a lot of evictions.
Yeah,
That's mostly what I do is evictions. I have a lot.
that can't be easy either.
Yeah. We have quite a few debt claims, which is like credit card companies suing people. And we have a big docket about once a month, and we may have from 10 to 30 cases
Right.
that come in. And those are so big, and it takes so long that we just schedule those once a month, and we do them all at that time. But mostly evictions. I have evictions every week.
Yeah. Now I've talked with county sheriff and Ryan Martin and some of the guys over there. Is it my imagination? Does it seem like crime has kind of gone down a bit the last
It has.
years?
I
don't see as many people arrested as I used to.
Yeah, it has.
I wonder why that is.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm not complaining,
Yeah.
but do you feel like you're seeing fewer cases or different cases?
Well,
or
I've seen my magistrations go up, but it's a lot of different things, from the court and
well, yeah,
stuff like that, But as far as crime, I believe it hadn't increased. I don't believe.
yeah, it's kind of maybe leveled off a bit. Then, of course, the other part is you have to work with the county commissioners because you have a budget you run, you have staff, a building there.
Yeah,
How has that been working with those
it's
guys?
great. We have some great commissioners.
Yeah, they've done a pretty good job, haven't
Doing
they?
a good job.
And I was telling somebody the other day, we were writing in the newspaper about our city council, and it took them 15 minutes to approve the minutes from the last meeting. And I said, man, the county commissioners in an hour, they'll go through 4 pages of meeting.
Yeah, we work well together. When I took office, I really started just looking at what the office needed, and
Right.
and I really want to progress it. I want to leave it better than I found it.
Right.
And it was a great office when I took office.
Yeah.
But we got to keep moving forward. That's what I think we need to do. And I did. I had one clerk, and so that clerk, she would do everything. If eviction came in, she would take the payment, file it, do the paperwork for the constable to go serve it. She'd do debt claims, any citation that came in, which that's DPS, game wardens, the sheriff's office,
Yep.
anything in my precinct, we get those citations, and there's a lot of citations that come in, and those have to be set and fines are paid, and it was just so much for one person. So I went to the commissioners and during budget time, and I asked for a part-time clerk, and I got it, and I hired another clerk, and
How's that working out?
that's good. And so she worked part-time until this budget, and I went back and said, well, it'd be better to have a full-time clerk. So they gave me a full-time clerk position.
Great.
So now I have 2 full-time clerks, and they stay busy.
So are you saying that next time I go in there, Teresa might actually smile at
Well,
me?
actually, Teresa retired.
Oh, she did. I didn't even hear that.
December 31st was her last day.
I need to reach out and say hey to her.
She
Okay,
retired
that's
after 24 years, I believe, 25 years.
that may be why she's not answering my emails.
Yep, she retired.
Last question: as a person, how are your holidays? What's going on in your personal life?
It was
Everything
great.
good?
We had a great Christmas. Just spent time with family, and
Did you get any hunting in this year?
I did a little bit.
Did you?
A little bit. I hunt more these days than I fish. I was a big fisherman, and my daughter's a senior now, and she keeps me busy, and I don't want to miss anything that she's got going.
Madeline's graduating this year from Latexo.
She's graduating.
Do we already have plans or still working on it?
She's kicking some things around. She is going to college. She wants to go into nursing.
Good.
Because my wife's a nurse, and that's just she wants to follow in those footsteps. And
Well, I mean, basketball, volleyball, golf, tennis, kind of take your pick at
so
this point.
We're in basketball right now,
Yeah.
and she'll be playing tennis and golf, and
Yeah.
and then we'll be wrapping it up. Then I look forward to my grandsons coming up and
Yeah.
get to chase him around playing sports.
Well, tell her and
I
Tammy
will.
we all say hello. And
My oldest grandson, he's 5. He plays.
Is he
t-ball.
already
He's
5?
playing little dribblers, and we got a game tomorrow. So they all keep me pretty busy.
Doesn't that make you start to feel old?
It does a little bit.
Because I remember when you used to carry him on the campaign trail. He wasn't 5 back then.
He was little,
Yeah.
and so they grow up fast.
Well, Mike's always been very open and honest, and always all the FOIA requests we send, very quick to get them back. And I'm sure people have questions, they can call the office
Absolutely.
and ask.
They can.
Yeah, it's one of those jobs where you rarely get thanked.
That's right.
It's kind of a bad news job.
And that's another thing about my job is when my previous job at the sheriff's office, I get calls all the time. People wanting advice, and
Yeah.
of course, I would tell them what they need to do. My job now, I can't do that.
Right.
If somebody gets a ticket, they have an eviction.
Yeah.
They'll hit me up at Walmart, and I can't discuss it because by law, if I discuss a case with you that may be in my court,
Sure. It's
I
conflict.
can't hear it. And that was tough for people and me too, to get used to, because I'm used to just, this is what you need to do. But it's been a learning experience.
Well, I had one JP tell me that when they first got elected and took office, they went to a special school for like 2 weeks to learn all the ways they could get themselves in trouble, basically.
Pretty much. And when I took office, I had to go to a 3-week school in San Marcos. And that's how it was. It was like they just opened up a fire hose and here's what you need to do, and so I just took it, and I go to a lot of training.
Yeah.
Because I want, I believe in, training just makes you
They're always
better.
updating, surely, laws.
It's always something updated,
Right.
always. And if you don't keep up with that, then you're behind, and,
Well, it's a thankless job. I'll go ahead and say thank you.
thank you.
And Judge Jordan as well. Don't envy you guys that job.
Right.
That's got to be Solomon and the baby every day, 15 times.
It is, and, especially you get those 2 o'clock in the morning calls that you got to go out and, somebody passed away, or, a child died in a car crash, or it's horrible.
I can't
It's
imagine.
horrible.
Well, it's one of those first responder type positions that we're so glad that men and women like you do for the rest of us,
Yes, sir.
honestly. So thanks for coming by. See, this wasn't too
No,
bad.
it's great. It's great.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Well, folks, thanks again to Judge McCrate for that interview. And thank you, Kendall, for being here. And I'm sure we're going to see you before you start trekking around the world.
Yes, hopefully. Well, thank y'all so much for watching this week's podcast, and we hope y'all stay nice and warm and bundle up in this cold weather. And we hope that y'all join next week. Thank y'all.